and our solar system. Planets, well, if we ever want to define the word planet, it's the hardest thing to make a definition out of. Because, there's no explanation for it. We don't have an exact meaning of a planet. Well, there are three ways to define it, which are not exactly correct, but they are somehow correct with some planets. The first is that a planet should orbit a star. Well, we have Pluto orbiting our sun, and it's not encountered as a planet. It's a dwarf planet. I'll explain what's a dwarf planet later on. Well, let me just tell you that the next one is that a planet should be big enough and has enough gravity to be round. Well, there are a lot of asteroids that have enough gravity and are round, like Mercury, Pluto, and all this stuff, but they are not still encountered as a planet. Next is that a celestial body that is known as a planet should have enough gravity to shoo away every object from its orbit out that is the same size as itself. So Pluto cannot do that. It's in the Kuiper Belt, and if anything the same size as it comes hit it, it cannot stop it because it doesn't have enough gravity. So this thing makes a little bit more sense than the three others. The next one, now let me tell you about our solar system. Our solar system, well, let me tell you about the things in our solar system. It has one star known as the Sun. We have 8 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And it has 5 dwarf planets: Pluto, Eris, Ceres, and Haumea, and Makemake. And it has more than 150 million asteroids. We had found 4,595 comets. These are a lot of objects in just one solar system. We haven't found. Sorry. Now let me tell you about the planets in our solar system. The Sun, the torch of our solar system, the giant, the light of our solar system. Well, it's a kind of a light that you need no kind of fossil fuels, to just make up pollution and all this stuff. It's just something that uses hydrogen and helium that fuses them and turns them into light and heat for planets to have them. Well, I explained this on the on the earlier episodes. If you had watched the last episode I had put, the stars episode, I had explained it there. Well, the next planet is Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet of our solar system with a diameter of 4,579 kilometers. That's really small, about the size of North America. And also that Mercury has, even though it's the closest planet to the Sun, and although it's the smallest, it's not the hottest because it doesn't have an atmosphere, so it cannot trap heat much, so it's not the hottest planet in the solar system. After that is Venus. Well, let me tell you that how long is a day and a year on Mercury? A day on Mercury is 58 days, and a year there's 88 days. That's a lot. Like you need 1.5 days for 1 year to be completed on Mercury. Mercury days and Mercury year, they're really strange. But the next planet, Venus, is even more strange. The second planet from the Sun, Venus, the hottest planet in the solar system, with temperatures of 800 degrees Fahrenheit or 400 degrees Celsius. Those are extreme temperatures. That's because of greenhouse effect on Venus. And the greenhouse effect is because of an atmosphere, 96 degrees of carbon dioxide. Thick, really, really thick. A day on Venus is 243 days. Well, a year there is 225 days. Just can you imagine that? That's just really weird. Like, a day is longer than a year. They probably should have changed it, but there's no way. Next planet is the Earth, the most known planet in the solar system and in the universe. Actually we live on it, so that's why we know it much. This planet is a rocky planet, and the only thing it has other than other planets is life. It it's home to more than 8 million species. That's a lot. And that's why Earth is the only planet since we know that supports life. The next planet, if you ever, I don't know, you know about the day and year on Earth, but a day here is 24 hours and a year here actually is 365 days. The next planet is Mars, hardly the same as Earth, except it's a dead world. Some people call it the red planet because it has rust mostly in its surface. And also, some people say that 2 billion years ago or 4 billion years ago, it might have a sustained life. When the planet had a water surface and warmer surface, it might have been a great, place there. You could drink the water there. It will be so fun. But still, it's a dead world now. After its magnetic field got weak by a solar wind, and if there's no magnetic field, there's no atmosphere, and there is no heat, so the water will just boil up by the solar winds. And that's why most of this, atmosphere is carbon dioxide, like about 95%. Its day is 24.6 days, and its year is 687 days. Like, the year is actually somehow twice the Earth, and just, the day is 6 hours longer than it, 6 minutes longer than it's here on Earth. Or probably, 30 minutes longer. Next planet is Jupiter, the giant and the ginormous of our solar system. The Earth, has a volume a lot of more times out of our Earth. This planet is, has 79 confirmed moons. That's a lot, and it's the fifth planet from our solar system. Its day is actually the fastest we know, 10 hours, and its year is 11 years. Just imagine that. Every 10 years you can have a birthday on Jupiter. The next planet is Saturn. This planet is just the most awesome planet you can ever see in your life. Even though it's awesome to me, my favorite planet is Neptune. Anyway, it has rings vast enough to fill the distance between the Earth and the Moon, and they are so cool. Even though they're so vast, they're only a few kilometers thick, and that's really weird. Anyway, a day there is again somehow the same as Jupiter, 10 hours, but the year there is actually more than twice. It's 29 years, and that's a lot. Uranus, the third largest planet in the solar system, is no different from the other gas giants. The only difference is that it's tilted in its axis by 98 degrees. That means it might have suffered a crash before time. And a day there's 17 hours, while a year there's 84 years. That means a whole human lifetime. Neptune and Pluto are even worse than that. Neptune, the fourth largest planet of our solar system, is one of the ice giants, and the last planet of our solar system is the guard of the Kuiper Belt, just like Jupiter being the guard of the Asteroid Belt. Well, actually, why do I say guard? Because with their powerful gravity, they're controlling these two belts. Neptune, the Kuiper Belt, and Jupiter, the Asteroid Belt, with their gravity. So they won't get out of orbit and hit other planets. Jupiter is the protector of Earth. If it hadn't been for Jupiter, we would have been crushed by now. A day on Neptune is 16 hours. Well, a year, there's 165 years. That means probably 2 human lifetimes. Next is the Asteroid Belt. Actually, the Asteroid Belt should have been explained earlier, but I thought probably Asteroid Belt and the Kuiper Belt could have matched really together because they contain mostly the same stuff. So, Asteroid Belt is in between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Thousands of asteroids in it. And the Kuiper Belt, well, Asteroid Belt has one dwarf planet, Ceres. As I said, there are 5 dwarf planets. So where are the other 4? They're in the Kuiper Belt, after the orbit of Neptune, where Pluto, Eris, Makemake, and Haumea live. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed and learned new things. Watch my other videos and give them a like. Give this one too. Subscribe. See you.